So one of the mechanisms that's really useful, Randy and I've used this with several clients and in our own organizations, is to do value scoring. It helps you make quick collaborative decisions. And there are a few steps to take to do this. First, you would need to get the right group of executives from business, technology, all those groups to make, they need to be people that are high enough up that they can make very quick investment decisions. They need to align on what is value, what are the drivers of value, and then make a list of all the work in progress. All of them get together on a regular basis to score everything on that list and agree on it, have conversation about it, ask hard questions about it, and then make that list fully visible. Always easy to find. It should be changing all the time. Your priorities are going to change because of customer needs, maybe because something is finished, maybe because something got bigger or smaller. Those priorities will constantly change. So have that meeting regularly, keep it published, make it accessible for everyone so that you have teams that know whether they can say no to a passionate project manager who's bringing them the 70th thing on the list. They can easily just say, nope, that's not the highest thing on the list. I need to work on number 3. So there are certain dimensions of value. When you're doing value scoring, the first thing you want to consider is what are those value drivers? It's not as simple as just saying we want to decrease cost or things like that. You want to have it something more specific. We want to decrease customer support calls. That means it's more usable, or it might mean that people are able to solve their own problems or things like that. So you want to think about real value drivers that are measurable and that can have some impact. And then you score it thinking about the weight. So you take each of those value drivers and you give them a weight. So some things will have a more weight than others. And then what is the impact of each epic to those dimensions? We'll show you what that looks like in a tool that we developed as well. So we call this the bang for your buck score. And the bang for your buck score is a simple calculation in a lot of ways. It's just take your value, divide it by size, and that's the bang for your buck. So you want to work on the things that give you the highest bang for your buck, and work less on the things that get lower bang for your buck or don't even work on them at all. So the way that this works in the tool is first you have your dimensions 1 through 5 here across the top. And each of those dimensions might be something like decrease customer support calls or increase page usage, something like that. Those are things that you would name and you all agree on what those are the drivers. And you might have between 4 and 7 of them. You don't want to have too many because then it gets really hard to score them and it's too complicated. If you have too few, you don't have enough really to work with. Each of those gets a weight, and you can see the weight here, the 5, 10, 10. So dimension 2 has more weight than dimension 1. And then each epic gets an impact score. So epic 1 has it's a 3 moderate impact for dimension 2, for example. And then the math is simple. It's just 1 times 5 plus 3 times 10, and you get a score of 160. Then you need to consider the effort and size, and that's where you want your architects there, your tech leads, people who can tell you what is the effort, what's the complexity of the work to get this done. And those are all going to be relative size. And your bang for your buck on this one is 3.2. And what that looks like when you do it holistically on your whole, you want to get every initiative in your organization, is it looks like this. So you've got all the epics down the left side of this matrix. This is for Wonderland Adventure Park. Imagine you're working on an adventure park. It needs to increase family attendance. You need to increase average time in park, decrease operations costs. So all of those get weighted. And then every epic here, or every initiative or project, whatever label you're using, all of those initiatives get scored. And you do this relatively in each column. So all of the initiatives have that impact score, divide them by the effort and size, and your bang for your buck score, you can see really easily, they're colored here. The water play area and the sanitation improvements have the biggest bang for your buck. But then we look, then you have an opportunity to really think about these things and make some trade-off decisions. That's why you want the right people in the room. If I look at improved family experience, which is the last one on the list, it's got the highest value score by far. It's 240 points. It's also got a high effort. So it's got a low bang for your buck score. So when you look at something like that, you have an opportunity to think, okay, well, can we carve off part of that? Maybe we split it and we get 150 value points for much less effort, and that bang for your buck score will go straight up. And so this is where you have some levers that you can pull, and you are communicating clearly on what your priorities are within your organization.